When the £20 uplift ends this October, it's communities like those here in Byker, Newcastle, that are bracing themselves for the consequences. Ellen is a mum of four who, like many families in the UK, began claiming universal credit after her husband lost his job because of the crisis.
Guys.
She also suffers from health problems that can make even getting out of bed difficult and working out of the question. Now she fears that cuts to her weekly income will come as a severe blow to her family and others like her.
For me to pay my bills and stuff, yes. So it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard. Maybe they might think the £20 is nothing. It's a big deal for us. It does help us through along the way, honestly. Even with it can even help paying the kids swimming or buying petrol for your car to roam around with them, going to school and stuff. It might help a lot. Even sometimes buying with a week milk for the kids, bread for the kids. It does help a lot. So without £20 taking off, I think a lot of families are going to be struggling.
The Department for Work and Pensions says around 6 million people claim universal credit in the UK. That's roughly 3 million extra than before the pandemic. When the £20 goes, it's places like the North East that are set to lose out the most, with the Joseph Rowntree Foundation estimating around 46% of all working-age families with children in the region will be affected by the cut.
And how many children have they got, did you say? 4?
Those who provide social housing in the North East have experienced firsthand the difference the uplift has made to tenants.
It's been a real lifeline for people. They've really needed to have this extra £20 a week. This has given just that little bit of extra flexibility for them to think about how they're going to look after the kids, make sure that people are fed, how they're going to deal with the precarity of the furlough. This is going to have a really serious impact. We know that people were struggling already before the pandemic. We know from our research that people were having to make really difficult decisions about, whether they were going to be able to put food on the table, whether they were going to be able to clothe their children, whether they were going to be able to heat their houses. So I think we're going to go back to that situation again. I think I would just ask the government to think again. I think they really need to think about the impact of some of the changes that they're going to make, the impact it's going to have on everyday families, and the impact particularly in areas like the North East.
Mike Medra runs this food bank in Byker, which has a specially designed point system for people to collect when shopping for items to lessen the stigma of asking for much-needed help. He says demand has surged during the pandemic, making the uplift even more vital.
I don't know how they're going to manage it. People that really need it, really need it. I think it's a shame. I think it's been a lifeline for a lot of people. And if you're going to do it, the timing has got to be better than this. I think you've got to wait until everything gets back to normal. Because I think if you take it away now, you're setting up people to fail. The government's got a difficult job to do because of it's got to start balancing books. But you're playing with the lives of the most vulnerable. And I don't think that's worth it.
It's areas like this that are key to the government's plans when they say they want to level up.
Levelling up is a really interesting term because this isn't going to help. This is the sort of negative action that will damage any good. I think that's as simple as that. You're playing with people's lives and people don't forget. And as Boris said, he's borrowed our votes from the north. Yeah, and borrowing means that you can take them away as well.
Food banks, both north and south, have told Sky News they fear for families in the coming weeks as a series of COVID lifelines come to an end. Not only the £20 uplift, but the furlough scheme and extended notice for evictions. The real economic scars COVID-19 has left behind for households to grapple with are about to be revealed. For many families across the UK, the winter ahead is already looking long and dark.